Hey up, this is Coach John, welcome to another video. Now this one is from Rainbow Magicland. This is some very exciting news. Now I'm going to be getting a big discussion out of this. Now, news came out yesterday about 100% ownership of the park and a brand new CEO of Rainbow Magicland. Now, Pillarstone Italy has become the park's major shareholder, the sole shareholder of the park and its management. And it's launching an investment plan of €40 million. Now, Rainbow Magicland is a park in Italy that opened in 2011. One of the main coasters was Shock, a Marathon X car coaster. Highly rated to be one of the better ones out there. I think it's above things like G-Force, a Drayton Manor that's now SBNO. Still can't believe I'm saying that. And there's different attractions that make it such a great rounded park. Now, it hasn't had any major investment since the park opened in 2011, so I think it was about time it needed some investment. So with these new owners, I think it's bound to get some new investment. Now, one of the first main decisions the park made was to appoint a brand new CEO, and they did that with Guido Zucchi. Now, he has 10 years experience in the amusement park industry, which I think is a very strategic move by the park ownership. If you don't know who Guido Zucchi is, basically he works in a European theme park chain, one of the biggest ones outside of the UK and US, solely based in Europe. You know, this chain's right up there with the Walby Parks chain. You know, the written Compagnie des Alpes, another big one. This one is right up there with the big European theme park chains. You know, Zucchi's been working with them a lot. And now he's the new CEO of Rainbow Magicland, and I'm sure he's going to be bringing some of that experience into this park, because Rainbow Magicland is one of those parks where it targets two audiences, family and thrill. Take Alton Towers, for example. Pre-Oblivion, so before 1998, there was always that talk of a question of image, where the balance has to be exactly right. You know, they were investing in thrill, then they invested in family, and they invested in thrill again, and the families were just, you know, being left out, so they invested way more in family, and family was up there on the scales, on the balancing scales, and thrill was right down there, so they needed Oblivion to sort of balance it up a bit. Rainbow Magicland is one of those parks, because, don't get me wrong, they've got a decent coaster lineup, but they do need to invest in another coaster, because right now family is slightly higher than thrill. Family coasters take an exception, only because family coasters target two audiences. If it's a kiddie coaster, then it'd be more of a family investment. But if you're looking at something like a 13 or a Wave Breaker, the rescue coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio, that kind of family thrill coaster, you're looking at a balance of both. So right now, they're more family than thrill, and if they're going to target a family thrill audience, they need to be balanced, so they need that next thrill coaster to sort of balance it out. And that, of course, follows the pattern of years of investment. They haven't really invested anything massive since the park opened in 2011. And now they've got this €40 million investment plan, which is aimed for activities, businesses. Apparently, Rainbow Magicland in 2019 will be putting in extensive renovations of several fronts, not only by enhancing the park's offer, but also with entirely redesigned areas, new attractions, new playgrounds and shows, and a substantial renewal of services and infrastructure available to guests. So the park opens on the 19th of April 2019 for the 2019 season. It's one of the newer parks out there, along with Sinsetta World in 2014. I think between 2011 and 2014, that was Italy's year for big parks, and then it was Italy's year again with Oblivion the Black Hole opening at Gardaland. And Italy sort of took a bit of time off, slightly. They hadn't had that major, massive coaster. And Rainbow Magicland can do that. They've got the €40 million investment. They can take a slice of it aside and be like, right, we need to invest in a coaster, because if you're investing family investments year upon year upon year, then you're not really thinking about the thrill audience if you're targeting both audiences. If they want Rainbow Magicland to go in a more family direction, fair enough. They want to target a family audience, and they want to keep the thrills for the teens and the coaster enthusiasts quite minimal. But if you want to target both audiences with a well-rounded themed park, because remember Magicland is a fantastic park. They've got Shock, which is a great X-Car coaster, like I've said, highly rated, one of the better X-Car coasters around. They've got an amazing looking dark ride. I've seen footage of the dark ride and images, but images and videos don't do that dark ride justice. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's like a 4D, 5D dark ride, and it looks incredible. It looks like one of those attractions you think, wow, I need to go to this park and do it. But there's still some areas in the park that are sort of really drab, need to be improved. And I think the owners might agree with me on this. There are some areas that can be like, right, we need to sort of rethink this because this isn't how we imagined it when we planned the park in the first place, ready for opening. So you've got to plan your park. You know, when you're in that situation, when you've got an area that's really not doing well, it's not being heavily themed, it doesn't look good, it's not being maintained, you think, right, that's going to be our main focus. And if we can add a coaster the next year. We need to make sure our park looks great, and then bring in a new coaster to sort of redesign that sort of part of the area. I don't think the park should remove any of their big rides yet. I think give it a couple of coasters, 2 or 3 coasters in the future, and then think, right, what's the least popular coaster out of the lot? Right, that's not really doing so well, so we'll take that out and we'll replace it with a different coaster. Because that's the way you've got to move forward in the industry. You've got to think, right, what's our least popular ride? Take it out and replace it with something that's going to be even better than that. It could be the same system, but a retheme, for all we know, to sort of boost popularity. And if the retheme doesn't work over the next few years, you take it out. You know, you give it a second chance, and if it's not working again, you take it out. Or it depends how many chances the theme park gives them. I mean, look at X No Way Out at Thorpe Park. 2013 it became X. 2018 it became Walking Dead the Ride. So it's giving it way too many chances, and if it doesn't sustain a theme for a very, very long time soon, then it's going to be like, right, we've given this ride way too many chances, let's deconstruct the pyramid, let's take the ride system out, and let's plonk a new coaster in that spot. Because Thorpe Park need to think about that. Rainbow Magicland, I think the main thing for me is do some original designs for new attractions and coasters, don't do any IPs. I mean, there was a good looking video game that I saw called Layers of Fear. It's a horror game, and that would look fantastic as a dark ride, because it's like, if you've ever played Layers of Fear, it's like, you know, this guy's finishing up this painting, it's got a massive storyline behind it, and some of the effects you can do as a horror dark ride would be brilliant, like a ghost train or like, just a horror themed dark ride, no VR BS, just fully themed, fully affected. That's the only sort of IP I'd go for, something like a horror. But if you're going to go for an IP, which looks to be the way forward at the minute, I mean, original attractions are on the decrease, especially with European parks and UK parks, because you've got IPs dominating. So you've got to, if you're going to go for an IP route, fair enough, but you need to sustain it for a good amount of time. Spinball and Charlie, they were sustained for a good amount of time at Alton Towers before they were removed. The Sonic theming was removed from Spinball Wizard, and it's now Spinball Wizard, but Charlie, it's out and it's been replaced by a dungeon. So, well, it looks to be replaced by a dungeon. So if you're going to go along the IP route, you've got to have a sustainable contract, and you've got to keep the maintenance of the theming and the story up every single season. You've got to make sure you don't take your eye off the ball a single second with those attractions, because the second it goes drab, plain, boring, then you're not going to get any visitors through the door, are you? So that's the sort of thing I'm worried about with this. But I'm sure with €40 million investment in activities and businesses, I'm sure there'll be new shops, new restaurants, and new rides and attractions coming to the park. So I am hoping for a new coaster in the next few years at Rainbow Magicland. If I was to pick, well, I'm not going to tell you that now, because that's the potential next roller coaster episode in the future. I'm hoping to try and get that part done by the end of this year. So there we go, so that's this one then, this new story from Rainbow Magicland. Now I've got another video to film on the closure of a kiddie coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio, as well as a couple more stuff to film. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss any of that thrilling content. For now, my name is Coaster Shell, keep living the coast up, dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.
Please stand clear. The gates are about to close. Your ride on Colossus is about to begin. Keep your arms inside the train, your feet on the floor, and brace yourselves at all times. Keep your arms inside the train, your feet on the floor, and brace yourselves at all times.